Happy Superman Day. I'm gonna be honest, for the longest time, I was definitely one of the biggest Superman haters. Out of all the superheroes from my childhood, the typical Spider Man, Batman, Flash, Green Arrow, and Green Lantern, and any other heroes from any different franchises, Superman has to be my least, or was, let me correction, he was my least favorite superhero. And the reason why is because by the time when I was like 4 or 5 years old watching these movies, the Superman I grew up with was the Zack Snyder Superman. Now, before any of you fanboys come and attack me and try and cancel me in the comment section, look, I don't think Henry Cavill necessarily is a bad Superman. I don't think that at all. But I do think his portrayal didn't portray Superman as interesting or as cool as I wanted to be. When I was watching this movie, not only like the color grading was so dark and gritty and just back then, like a lot of superhero movies were dark and gritty, even The Amazing Spider-Man, but I still loved The Amazing Spider-Man because of the aesthetic and Andrew Garfield. But other than that, like the Superman movie, it can only go so far with Henry Cavill, man. I did not like the direction at all, and I still don't. I think he was not portrayed or done justice the way he could have, and it took me a while to actually like Superman, and especially like at the same time dealing with that Superman and Injustice Superman at the same time. You guys don't know, like, we have it good now with David Cornsweat and Superman being this symbol of hope and peace and just overall a good guy now. The Superman that I knew was just not it, bro. Like, for the longest time, I was the biggest Superman hater. It wasn't up until like 2023, which isn't even that long ago looking back, where I really changed my opinion on the character, and most of that came from this show. Now I'm not gonna act like My Adventures with Superman is full-on cinema, but it is an amazing show, and I love that show. It was like, for me, it gave me a whole nother side of Superman that I was never really open or really taught existed, especially growing up with, this Superman. So getting to see a Superman be so hopeful, full of joy, and actually like being a real hero and saving people instead of horror farming, it was like peak to me, bro. And for the longest time, like after that, I rewatched some of the old DC animated movies. I rewatched Superman vs. the Elites, which that movie is probably like my favorite Superman movie outside of maybe James Gunn. Like those movies, man, they just portray Superman, his character, as being so hopeful, so cool, so joyful. And you can say he's a Boy Scout or call him this or that, but I like Superman. I like the fact that he's just this good person. Because, and especially like the lore behind his parents, the lore behind Krypton, his cousin, everything related to Superman, in my opinion, became cool after I actually started to get to know his character a lot more. It's one of the reasons why I am somebody like, while I also always talk about it on my channel, comic accuracy isn't everything. I do think that when it comes to adapting a character, you need to adapt them well enough that they don't go all off and do their own thing from the comic books. Because imagine me being a fan watching the Zack Snyder movies and then going to read Superman, his comics, and then realizing like there's an entirely different tone or setting. And the Zack Snyder movies, not that they're not accurate, they are. They have, the whole origin story of Krypton being blown up and him being to space and taking care of his family, but it just feels different. The vibes were just completely different from the Superman that I got to know from the books, the TV shows, and just the animated movies. It was such a different take. I'm not gonna lie, and the fact that at the time too, DC was also trying to change Superman, I'm pretty sure, because the New 52 probably released around that time as well. And I'm gonna be honest, from what I've read, I don't hate New 52 Superman, but you could definitely see the inspiration from Snyder and, the dark times of comic book culture and everything related to it. But just, I love Superman. And like I said, happy Superman Day. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys for making the end of the video. Capiche?